Hello again. New week. We're now Tuesday because it was bank holiday yesterday. It's not quite as good weather-wise as it was last week. We've had a scorching weekend. It's been absolutely beautiful. But it's better to be a bit overcast now rather than over the bank holiday weekend. So a short week this week. We've got four days. So I'm hoping to get this finished today. Glad that's stayed up. I think that must be secured to the ceiling, it looks like. It possibly is. But it's holding itself anyway. So I'm going to I'm going to sort the waste out. I'll do that first. If I can get this drain in the centre of that hole, then I can put the tray in and then I can shab all the walls. I think I'll try and get these off. They're pretty straightforward getting the knobs off. Just undo the screw, slide them off. This unclips, and a couple of screws in there. And that should pull the faceplate off. I can put the shower board on and put this back on. Yeah, just pull the top cap off this and unscrew it, and they can pull all that cover off. I don't really want to get involved with moving that, so I'll have to sort of wedge at an angle the shower board in so I can get the hole where it's going to be covered by this. I'll sort of show more as I'm doing it. These doors are rather interesting. They've got some sort of inlay in them. I don't know what it is. You can feel it's got like a rough texture. I wouldn't have thought they'd have sandwiched, oh God, I hope not. If it's something to do with fireproofing, not that you'd need a fireproof door into a bathroom. I wonder if they've all got them. Let's hope it's not asbestos. Which would be brilliant for fireproofing. I wouldn't have thought they would have gone to the trouble of putting asbestos either side. I'll get up the top and have a look, just out of interest. Yeah, the top of the door, it's the same thing. That's a little bit worrying, that is. But I suppose it's probably built in that time where asbestos was around, and from what I believe, asbestos was banned in the UK before it was banned in Jersey. So Jersey bought loads from the UK, very cheap. So there's a lot of asbestos in Jersey. They just, I don't know how they'd glue it. I don't know how they'd fix it, unless it's just a slight inlay, or it's some type of intermittent strip that expands. Anyway, that's not what I'm doing here. It's nothing to do with me. I've just cleaned up all the edges, taken all the rest of the silicone off. So yeah, now get on with the drain. That's all glued up. I haven't put the collar on yet, just to hold it in place. I thought I'd let the glue go off for a bit so I can start getting the shower board up while I'm letting that set. I've left the trap slightly high. I've packed it up off the floor because it needs to go up 15 mil. Well, it needs to be at that height for it to work. There is a bit of movement in the pipe. There's a bit of flex, so you can move it up, down, sideways, but you don't want to move it too much. That's the first of the shower panels. It's not fixed, it's just cut and put into place. That's the full width of it. And I thought I'd have the joint there. The joints you can hardly see anyway, but I'd rather the joint away from the shower head than next to it. So I've got to bring the ends over as far as this point and then put a trim on the edge to cover that. So I'll have to just notch out where the top goes. And what I really need to do is just check I've got enough height for the shower door to go on. Next one I cut will be this side, so I have to rip it down. So I'll get some measurements now for the full width, and then we can notch out again for the top bit. and then I can start sticking them on then. But what I've done at the bottom, I've sealed between that stuff is called, I forget what it's called, corian. That's corian, it's not marble. So I've sealed between the corian and the shower tray as a double backup. So if any water does get through the shower board, it won't get through the corian, through the back of the corian. Right. This is the most difficult panel to get on. The cover that goes on the outlet I wanted to make the hole as small as possible. I didn't want any chance of it not fitting on. So we've just about got there, but we are a bit tight here. There's a bit of movement, so we should be able to get that out. And then I've glued it to the wall. I'm going to stick the edge panel on now, just so it's before the glue sets and I can't get one afterwards. Then this next piece in 2 pieces, so I can get that on. That should go on quite easy. I need the putty knife just to get it into the groove. And then the smaller piece should pop on no problem. And then it's the top bits, but I can do them once the shower door's in. That's all the wall panels in. I've put the sealant around the bottom because that has to go on before these upright profiles for the door go on. I'm building the door at the moment. That's the side panel there. And here's the bit the door slides on. So I'm just going to fit this on this side, and then that side panel should squeeze in there and all tie it all together. It's now Wednesday and I've put the sliding door in. I've just got to put there's like rubber seals that go over the ends and the top and bottom. Then I've got to seal all the way around. I sealed that last night. And then finish off the top. So I'm just going to pack up the top and then put some form of cover all that. I don't know what I'm going to do about that. I think I might have to put a bit of white something over it. And the skirting can go back on. Just button it back up. They've asked me to price to do TGV panelling all the way across here. So we've got an issue with the radiator's going to have to come off the wall. These, I'm going to have to check that there's enough cable behind that you can pull them out. And yeah, not a great deal. So you want to cover up this mark. So we'll probably end up going up to here with like a little shelf on the top, just to finish it off. So I've got some prices this morning for the materials. You get, I think it's 2.6 meters by 1.2 boarding, and yes, I'll work out how much I need and then how long it's going to take me to do it. That's their handset on. They have these loops to hold the hose. The idea being if you drop them, it saves breaking the shower tray. So I've always disconnected them and bypassed that, but obviously because I'm fitting it, I've got to fit it on. I presume that's what they'll do, disconnect it. Skirting's on now. I've had to do a little bit of a bodge on the corner where it was a bit rotten. So the paint is coming, so you might be able to touch it in. And a bit in that corner as well. We're getting there. I think now we need to put these bits up. That's 2 of the 3 panels in at the top. I've just got to put a small piece in. But at the moment, whilst the glue's going off, I've got a screw supporting the roof panel. That's not what I put in, that was the existing corian. So now I'm going to go and get some plastic just to cover these bits, the inside and out. So I'll put some plastic strips in there And I think when that's done, I think we're finished. Well, I've got a lot of rubbish to get rid of. This isn't so bad up here, but yeah, it's got a bit of weight in it. And if I put it on the trolley, it won't fit through the doors. So I might get the caretaker to give me a hand with that, my new mate. And downstairs, we've been talking lots about motorbikes and cars. Right, yeah, I'm gonna nip off and get some bits for it. Right, that's up just about done. That's the shower just about done. I've put trim on the top. That's just glued up there. I'll have to come back tomorrow with some Magnolia Painter's Mate and fill that. And I've got a bit of silicone glass. And obviously, you know, all the little bits in here. I've got to finish off sealing all around the white, just to tidy it up. And on the inside, yeah, just sort of did what I can with what I had. I've got these panels on, they're all on, all glued on. So yeah, it's now 3:30. This has taken so much longer than I expected. So much. I've had to put a block there. I'll see around the edge tomorrow, because there's a big hole in the wall, same as over there. But those blocks are just on, they're just siliconed on, so they can come off when the painter comes to do his decorating. Skirting's on, just glued that back on. So yeah, I'm gonna give it a clean up now, get rid of the dust sheets, get all the tools down, and then back tomorrow. That's it, done, all in, finished. I haven't put any water down the waste yet because some of the sealant's not been on for 24 hours yet. I put silicone around the gap at the top. The decorator's coming in, he can do his bit. Yeah, I wouldn't fancy doing another one. That was a nightmare. That was very similar to what I did. Well, that should have been easier to what I did at the other flat last week. But this was definitely more difficult and very much more time consuming. That's taken a lot of time, that has. And it's on the 3rd floor. So everything's either go up and down the stairs if it's too big or in the lift, which has been a bit of a nightmare. So I've cleared all the tools, given it a quick hoover. Just got a few more bits to get downstairs. And that's this job done. So next job I've got, on the way back from work last night, I had to put a plug on a washing machine for a new tenant that's moved into one of the properties. And now her curtain rail's fallen off, so I've got to go back and do that. These are teething problems you get. I am a highly qualified carpenter, and I just do anything really. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's work. And it's good to help people out when they've moved in. So that's where I'm going now. I'm going to go and get her curtain rail sorted out. I'm sure there'll be other bits whilst you're there. Right, it's now Thursday. It's actually Thursday afternoon. I went straight to the job where I've been doing the shower enclosure and got all the rubbish and took it down the dump, and I had to go to various different dumps. I had to go to 3 dumps in the end just to get rid of all the rubbish, and they wouldn't let me dump the glass shower doors with the doors. I had to separate them all. It was a bit of a nightmare. Then I had to go back there, meet the plumber, give him access. So that's been my morning really. What I'm doing now, I'm in the workshop, which still needs a clean, and I'm cutting down some worktop for another flat in town. So they've asked, they want the chrome, the stainless edging strips on. I'm just going to cut it to length, take a small piece off and put this piece on. So I thought I'd cut it here rather than making a mess at someone's flat. Stick the edges on, take it down there, and yeah, just fit it. So about to get the circular saw out to chop that off. This is the flat I'm working in. It had a small piece of worktop across the top that was for a washing machine. I got a bit carried away and took it off before I did the video. So that's the worktop I cut and put the edges on, so I'm going to stick that in. And then I have to put an end support in. That's the unit in. I've put a piece of mahogany that was in the workshop because there's a big gap there. There's a massive bow in the wall and it looked awful, so I'll just put that in. And then it happens, I've got the washer here. Sort them out. So a lot of the doors aren't working properly. So I've just got to fix them. Hopefully all the bits still in. Right, I've got to fix them all back on. Unfortunately, there were bits missing. The adjustment screw at the bottom hinge, so I've had to move the top over just to try and get it sort of aligned. And then I thought I might as well do the rest whilst I'm here. That one, I fixed that one back. The screw was still in that one, so lined it all up. It's an old kitchen. Line these ones up. So yeah, it takes 2 minutes, so I thought I might as well do it. That's this job done. I've got, what time is it? 10 to 4. Yeah, I've got a shower handset to do now. So that is where I fixed the handrail, and I did some work there yesterday. Put a plug, day before yesterday, put a plug on a washing machine. And I put a curtained rail up yesterday, but I didn't take any pictures or anything like that because she's moving in, it's in her house. So I'll walk back there now to fix a shower riser. I'll try and get some pictures on there, and then that'll be it for the day. And I haven't booked anything in for tomorrow, so I'm probably going to end up doing bits and pieces, but I might try and get a bit of time off if I can. Right, so this might be, no, it won't be the end of the week. I'll do a bit after the shower rail, and then we'll see what happens tomorrow. Yeah, even though I might want to not work tomorrow, I probably still will end up working because the phone will be going.